This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping this show on Thursday, August 23rd, 2012. Harold has a business day, so we're not taping on Friday. Our time, 8:41 Mountain, 10:41 Eastern. Our radio show runs AM 640 in Toronto, 630 CHED Edmonton, QR 77 in Calgary. Ever miss a radio show? They are archived on Harold's websites, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, also HESradio.com. Sign up for our podcast via iTunes. Download iTunes onto your computer free of charge. Download the show. We are portable. You can take us anywhere. It has been a fantastic week for hard assets. Gold and silver have done very well. Part of the reason, the Fed minutes came out the other day, and they were talking heavily about stimulus, quantitative easing 3. Looks like it's going to happen. Also, the ECB looks like they might be ready to fire off a monetary bazooka. China talking about stimulus, and then you add in geopolitical, the situation between Israel and Iran. It is a very important time to have a financial firewall around your assets. Have that financial bomb shelter you can go into when bad things happen. And Harold, that's why we advocate for hard assets. That's the financial firewall for you.
You better believe it. And again, it was very evident this week. Look at gold and silver did this week, and oil. As we're taping the show on Thursday, gold is up another $1,550, so we're trading at $1,671.50 as we speak in gold. Now, we talked about this for the last few weeks. The gold had to have two closes above 16 and a quarter, which we got. Then 1640, which we also got this week, and now we're trading at 1671. We should easily take out 1700, and again, before the end of the year, retest the $1,900 level, which was the all-time high, and more than likely, if things continue the way they are, we could hit $2,000 to $2,200 gold. So again, gold has certainly made a gigantic move this week, and very, very pleased to see this happening. The silver market also had a gigantic week as we're taping the show on Thursday. Silver's up another 81 cents. So we're now trading at $30.85. We've had successful closes over 28 and 28.50, which was extremely important. I'd like to see two closes above 30 just for the short term. 32.50 is an important number for silver. Once we break 32.50, we could see silver take off and take out the $40 level. And again, there's a very good chance that we could not only take out the $50 level in silver this year, which was the all-time high, but possibly even go higher than that. Platinum and palladium are skyrocketing also. Platinum is trading up $20 today at $1,565. Palladium market has made a $50 move this week. We're up $17 as we speak, and we're trading right now at $652. So all in all, the metals have done extremely well. The oil market has also taken off. Oil's been up pretty well every single day for the last 2 weeks. We went from $80 oil all the way up to $97.63. We're up another 37 cents today, and crude oil's trading very close to the $98 level. On top of that, the U.S. dollar has been backing off. Not real heavy, but backing off. It's trading right now at 81.44, down about 8 points on the day. But the U.S. dollar has fallen, and in actual fact, the euro has rallied a bit. The euro is trading back up at 125, which is a very good sign. We want to see the U.S. dollar continue to fall. We do believe that will happen. And again, if there wasn't these issues in Europe at this time, the U.S. dollar more than likely would be sitting in the low 70s at this point, which is ultimately where we believe the market's going anyways, and a lot further lower than that. The Canadian dollar is doing very well. The Canadian dollar is above par, actually. It's stronger than the U.S. dollar. So all in all, the markets are doing extremely well. One of the major reasons why gold and silver have made these gigantic moves over the past couple weeks is due to shortages in the physical market. We've talked an awful lot about that. You've got two different players in the market. You've got the futures traders that trade short-term and very heavy leverage, and then you've got the buyers, the physical buyers of gold and silver, which is primarily us and people like us that buy for the long term. We're not trading. We're not in and out of the market. We're buying and holding, and basically that's where I believe all the money is going to be made. If you're buying and selling and trying to pick the highs and lows in the market, the chances are is that you will miss this massive bull market that we're in right now in gold and silver that started 11 years ago when gold was at $250 and silver was at $4. So all in all, the markets are doing extremely well. There are major shortages in the physical market, and that will continue to have gold and silver skyrocket. The thing is that you've got major countries like China and India that are buying gold like it's going out of style. They're buying it physically. On top of that, you've got investors that, like us, that buy it physically and take it home with them. Then on top of that, you've got the ETFs and all the other mechanisms that basically will buy gold. Well, there's only so much gold mined, and basically not only is China and India and individual investors buying gold and silver, but on top of that, you've got some of the central banks buying it also. So all in all, we will have a massive shortage in the gold market going into a time when inflation is going to skyrocket, and markets like gold, silver, and diamonds will just take on a totally different life of their own. You'll see prices in gold and silver and diamonds that you've never, ever dreamed possible. Now, inflation is the main reason why we've been recommending gold and silver and diamonds for the last several years. Basically, inflation is here, even though the governments say that it's under control. I'll tell you, with what's happening in the middle part of the U.S. at this particular point, with the worst drought since the 1980s, you're going to see massive increases in the price of corn, wheat, soybeans, because the feed has gone so high. The ranchers and are actually slaughtering the cattle early, so you're going to see a feedback from that. The major steakhouses in the country, in Canada and the U.S., will not have the high-grade prime steaks because the cattle will not be living long enough. They can't afford to feed them. That's extremely inflationary. You're going to see prices of meat skyrocket in price, grains and foods and pastas and everything like that, and almost all food prices will skyrocket. Not only because of this drought, but also because of the high price of oil. And the fact is that oil right now is trading just under $100. We've seen oil increase almost $20 in the past month or so. I'm very, very bullish on oil. I believe oil is going to be a $150 commodity, and that could happen very, very quickly or higher if this war with Israel and Iran does happen. Now, the chances are very good at this point that that is going to happen within the next month. It's more than likely going to happen before the elections. So the fact is that if Israel and Iran do go to war, it's not going to be a pretty sight. It's not going to be a short-term situation either. Both of them are formidable. So, again, it's going to be a concerning situation that could actually raise the price of oil to over $200. So all those that took our advice and bought oil, watch what's going to happen, because in the short term, if we get a massive run-up in the price of oil because of a war in Israel, we would like to take profits at that point, take profits and wait for the markets to come down. I'll certainly advise you as to what the right thing is to do at that particular point. But all in all, a phenomenal week in the gold and silver markets. The prices are skyrocketing. Gold's up $15.50 as we speak. Silver's up 81 cents. We broke $30, almost $31 in silver. I'd like to see $32.50, and that would confirm that we're going much, much higher in the gold and silver markets at this point. So, again, Randy, with inflation starting to rear its ugly head, there's just no way in the world that you can hide high oil prices and food prices, and that's one of the major reasons that gold and silver will continue to make gigantic moves on the upside.
The company Harold recommends you use when it comes to investing in hard assets, gold and silver, the only company, Worldwide Precious Metals. Their telephone number, 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002. You can go to their website, www.pmc.com, www.pmc.com. They can help you manage your precious metals investment account. You can trade the market if you want, buy and hold your metal. They're there to help you maximize profit, minimize risk. They're the experts in this very specialized market. And this is important that you understand this. You want to deal with people that only deal in precious metals. Worldwide has been around for over 10 years. They have 10-year anniversary incentives. You can read about them on their website or speak to them about starting your own precious metals investment account today. And it was a few weeks ago, we had an article sent to us we included in our newsletter about silver backwardization. And we also talked about the gold to silver ratio. And we said at that time, about 3 weeks ago, speak with Worldwide. Take advantage of silver backwardization. Also, the gold to silver ratio, which at that time was around 59, and here it is today around 55 to 1. We think it will continue to improve, and we were right on both occasions. Speak with Worldwide. They're the experts in this specialized field. Learn more about starting your own precious metals investment account today. 1-866-623-2002. The website, www.pmc.com. As I mentioned off the top of the show, we're seeing the markets move on the Fed minutes. They're talking stimulus. The ECB potentially firing off a monetary bazooka. And we have those stories in our newsletter. If you'd like to get our newsletter, Speak with Worldwide, we send it out via email free of charge every week. You can go through it in 5 to 10 minutes or spend hours if you want. It's done in a very easy format for you to read. But we have 2 stories. One from Ambrose Evans Pritchard. Der Spiegel is right. The long-awaited game changer from the ECB may be close. And as well, there is a story from Reuters. They actually were talking about the ECB considering setting an explicit top yield threshold for peripheral nations' borrowing costs at a meeting in September. In other words, they would say that Italy's 2-year borrowing cost shall not be more than 300 basis points above Germany's 2-year borrowing costs. This is highly, highly inflationary. And you can read the articles in our newsletter. Both are huge positives for the precious metals markets. In fact, economist Gerald Celente said this week, why wouldn't you believe in gold? Look at the people that are now investing in gold, the central banks around the world. Look at the George Soroses. They're investing in gold, and the Paulsons. And he goes on to say, why would anyone have put their faith in digital money? Why would people put their faith in the euro when only after 10 years the whole Eurozone is threatening to collapse? Why would anyone pay attention to the Finnish finance minister? Why wouldn't they? When they're saying basically they're making plans for the collapse of the euro. Why wouldn't you believe that? He says he's going to continue to own precious metals and buy gold. The silver section of our newsletter this week is very, very strong. We encourage you to get the newsletter. We have a chart from Dan Norsini, and highly respected. I know that Jim Sinclair, he posts on Jim Sinclair's website as well. John Embry has great respect for Dan Norsini. We have a chart in our newsletter. He says here, silver has clearly heavy resistance at 29 and is obviously surpassed that now. The next resistance, 30. He says if silver breaks 30, look for the momentum funds to come into the market, and that would be a huge positive for silver. Also, Hulbert Mullman, we have a chart from him. He's saying that what's happening with the silver price is we could see a massive move upward very, very soon. Also, David Morgan was interviewed. He's a silver expert and was asked about silver. He says, is silver going higher? Yes. Is the overhead supply worked off? The answer, not yet, but it will be. I think we're going to see a higher silver price in probably the $35 to $40 range by the end of the year. Then in 2013, I do expect nominal prices to go into new highs, meaning $50 as a nominal high. Inflation adjusted, you'd have to expect $135 to be the new high in real terms. You can watch those interviews with David Morgan. Also, John Embry was quoted on silver this week. He says, I'm focused on the better silver price, which sort of came out of left field. 38 times silver was recently beaten back on a minute-by-minute basis at the $28 level. Every time it went through 28, it was jammed down. So for silver to break out today and make a run towards 29.30 is significant and very promising going forward. 29 is a major breakout, and I still believe silver will hit a new all-time high before the year is out. In the meantime, on a break above 29 with enthusiasm and volume, I think that signals the end of a short-term bear market that we've been experiencing for the last 16 months. That means the bear phase will have ended and a new bull move is now in place. Stephen Lieb talking about a supply crunch to send silver into the stratosphere. He says silver has two drivers going forward. One is the monetary aspect, because silver is money, but the other is the industrial component, and the demand for silver to cultivate energy is going to skyrocket. Later on, people will not believe you could have purchased silver in the 20s. It's a gift now at $20 and $30. I think it will be very difficult going forward to acquire large amounts of physical silver. Countries will have a hard time picking up the necessary silver they need for all their demands. When you couple in the investment boom that is still in front of us, that means the price of silver is literally going into the stratosphere. The Chinese know this, and this is why they're buying so much physical silver, as well gold. I have said many times that there is going to be a mania, and the mania in the silver price is still ahead. Harold, get our newsletter this week. We encourage everyone listening who's not on our list to get our free weekly newsletter. Get the silver section. It is packed full of very important information. But the setup right now with possible stimulus ahead from Europe, China, the Fed talking about stimulus, you need to have hard assets in your portfolio to protect yourself.
You bet, Randy. And the prices are, as you were talking, gold is now up $20.30 at the high of the day at $16.75. We could literally take out $1,700 this week. And silver's up almost $1 now, so we're trading almost at $31 silver. So the markets are looking great. Again, it's the shortages in the market at this point. The fact is that the market is turning from bearish to bullish in the charts. That's going to catch a lot of people off guard. People that may be short the market are going to have to scramble to buy back their positions. So all in all, I love the market. You know, the thing is that you get the short-term traders that look at the markets and are negative on it, and they push the market down over the past few months, and basically a lot of investors lost interest in gold and silver because they saw silver drop from 50 down to 26 and gold from 19 down to 1,500. But look, the markets are coming back very strong. All the fundamentals are the same, in fact, getting stronger. You've got this drought going on in the middle part of the country that's causing inflation in the food market, and now you've got the situation in Israel and Iran that's caused oil to go up every day for 2 weeks. So again, these markets can literally explode, but we don't want to be leveraging heavily the market, and we don't want to be trading the market. You want to be buying and holding, because this market in gold has a chance over the next 4 or 5 years to go to $4,000 to $5,000 or higher. Silver's got a chance to go to $100, $200, and if you're trading in and out of the market, you're never going to catch that. So if you believe in what we're saying, and you've listened to the show and seen the results, the bottom line is you want to own the actual metal. You want to sit back and let the market do its thing and take a lot of the risk out of the marketplace. All in all, I've never been more excited about the market. And again, we're one of the very bullish people, analysts on this market, and we have been for 11 years.
I know that Jim Sinclair, he now has a target. In the past, he was the one who correctly called $1,650 gold. Now, looking at the work of Elf Fields, he believes that we will hit $3,000 on the way to $35,000 and ultimately $4,000 gold. Get your position today. Have that financial firewall around your assets, that bomb shelter you can go into. 1-866-623-2002, the number to call to learn more about investing in precious metals. 1-866-623-2002. And the website is wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com. Make sure you get our free weekly newsletter via email every week. It's very important that you have this. It's the companion to our radio show. You will be reading all the same stories that we are every week. In the geopolitical section of our newsletter, I think this is very important. We have a whole list of stories. And just to read the headlines will really open up your eyes to what's happening if you're not aware. Art Cashin, a well-known trader, saying that the gigantic cauldron of geopolitical risk is bubbling, and he continues to marvel at how little the geopolitical challenges appear to be priced into the financial markets. You can read that story in our newsletter. But as well, Iran's supreme leader orders fresh terror attacks on the West because of what's happening in Syria. Western forces want the president of Syria out. Iran wants him in, and the supreme leader, is saying that he wants attacks on the West. Also, Netanyahu determined to attack Iran before U.S. elections. That according to a TV station in Israel, Channel 10. Israel's defense officials have consulted a top rabbi to get his thoughts about the attack. Also, Iran coming out and making very incendiary comments. Israel's existence is an insult to all humanity. They're a tumor that needs to be destroyed. So you can see that the rhetoric is building, and as well, Israel is very serious about protecting themselves. And it seems that potentially an attack could happen before the U.S. presidential election, right before they go to vote at the beginning of November. Harold, that's something I think people need to be very aware of. We have about 2 minutes left here. It's something people need to be very aware of when it comes to their investing tactics right now. You bet.
Again, the markets are nowhere near the same as they were and what we've been accustomed to. In most cases, we've been accustomed to investing in stocks like General Motors and IBM and those type of situations for the long term and for safety. Those days don't exist anymore. The stock market is not a safe place to put your money, as we all know, because we've seen the markets plummet before. What we need to do is change the way that we're investing, because the times have changed. And basically, we're extremely conservative here. We're not risk takers. And the fact is that if you are taking risks at this particular point, the chances is that you're going to lose your money. If you stay with this ship, and the ship is going in the right direction, which I believe it is, the true answer to what's going on is to own hard assets like gold and silver and diamonds, because history has proven that is the area which is safest in these unpredictable times. And the markets will continue to get extremely volatile, and that's the last place you want to have your retirement funds or your hard-earned money, is in these extremely risky and volatile markets like the stock market. It's nothing but a gambling casino at this point. So again, I think the next 5 years we have a true direction where we're going to see. We know the Federal Reserve does not want to raise interest rates, so we're going to see the dollar weaken, and we're going to see gold and silver prices continue to move higher. I'm extremely bullish, and again, this last couple weeks has certainly shown what gold and silver can do in the right scenario.
In the second half of the show, and we're about to take our first hard break here, we will talk about the fiscal cliff the United States faces, and it is very, very serious. In fact, Goldman sent out a report to clients: get out of stocks before the fiscal cliff hits. And Bob Janjua, you can read this story in our newsletter as well as the one I just mentioned. This is your last warning. The huge sell-off could begin in days, where we could see a 25% fallback in the stock markets before the U.S. election. Read those stories in our newsletter. Learn about investing in hard assets. Have that financial firewall around your assets, that bomb shelter. 1-866-623-2002 to speak with the experts of Worldwide Precious Metals. Their website, wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com. Connect with them, 1-866-623-2002. Going to come back and talk about diamonds, an important show we want you to know about. And we'll talk about one of the most stunning featured diamonds we have ever had. Hang in there as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on Thursday, August 23rd, 2012. Normally we tape on Fridays in the morning, but Harold has a business day tomorrow. He cannot tape the show. We're taping at 9:05 Mountain, 11:05 Eastern. Radio show runs AM 640 in Toronto, 630 CHED Edmonton, QR 77 Calgary. If you ever miss a radio show, they are archived on Harold's two websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And I should remind you that we have a podcast, and you can access it via iTunes. Downloading iTunes, absolutely free. You go to Apple, you download it onto your computer. You don't have to buy a thing from them. You can just automatically download this show. It's all free. We are portable. You can put us on your iPod, your device, and take us anywhere you go. To invest in precious metals, the telephone number 1-866-623-2002, the website www.pmc.com. On the diamond side of things, Harold's auction website. Our next auctions will be coming up in October, hsfineauctions.com. Take a look at the website in preparation for our future auctions in October. Harold's website for diamonds, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. The telephone number to connect with Harold, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. And this week, we have had some amazing featured diamonds, but this one goes into the top 10 of all time. This is absolutely stunning. Featured diamond is a 1.16 carat heart cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless diamond. When you see the picture, you see the video, you will be literally stunned. When I was sent the featured diamond, I clicked on the link, and I was blown away. I thought this has to be one of the top 10 we have ever had, if not the best. It is absolutely stunning. Anyone who will own this will have a museum-quality diamond. It is amazing. Speak with rarecoloreddiamonds.com, Harold Siegel. Give him a call, 1-800-432-1022, about the featured diamond. It is a must-see this week, and we have one story that we wanted to get to for all those diamond investors or would-be. CNBC is presenting the Diamond Rush, and it's a program that they've done on diamonds. They did a program on gold in the past. They've done a program on diamonds. It's coming up on Monday, August 27th at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. That would be 9 Eastern. They also are replaying it later in the evening. I know I have my DVR set. I plan on taping it and watching it, but they're going to do a 1-hour documentary on diamonds called The Diamond Rush. And Harold, they go on to say that diamond investing could be the next big thing. Well, we know it already is the big thing right now today.
You better believe it, Randy. I'm very proud that we brought this to our listeners about 7-8 years ago when we wrote Rare Colored Diamonds, the Best Kept Secret. See, the thing that people don't know about diamonds, especially rare colored diamonds, is, number one, that they are a very strong investment. Number two, that they have never, ever fallen in price. And number three, they respond to inflation as well, if not better, than gold, silver, or any other market. So the fact is that it doesn't surprise me that they're now doing these articles and all that on rare colored diamonds and the investment aspect of it. I've been in business for 35 years, and again, I know the power of investing in the diamond market. The thing is about the diamond market is that not all diamonds are gem quality diamonds and good investments. There are certain investments that are excellent investments that have track records. For example, the featured diamond that Randy's talking about is so ridiculously rare because, number one, it's a heart shape, which is a very, very rare cut. And number two, it's the best color and clarity that you can possibly get. GIA, which stands for the Gemological Institute of America, they're in New York, and their job is to grade diamonds. They graded this diamond as a vivid color, which is the best color available, and as internally flawless. So to get a diamond like this that's over a carat, this is a 1/16 heart shape, fancy, vivid yellow, internally flawless diamond. As far as I know, there's not another diamond like this that exists anywhere. Very proud to have it. It's a brand new diamond. It was just cut, and it just came out of GIA recently, just about a month or two ago, and this is its first showing. So some lucky investor is going to end up with this diamond this week. I imagine we'll have maybe 30, 40, 50 inquiries on this diamond, so it will be on a first-come, first-served basis. I will let you know that this is not an inexpensive diamond. The diamond sells in the 70,000 range, but this is a diamond that will do nothing but go up in value, and because when you buy the very best, you always get the most back for it, this is a diamond that whoever does own it will make a tremendous return on it. The thing about the diamond market, again, I've been in business for 35 years, and both in trading commodities and in the diamond business. And the fact is that there was always one thing lacking in the diamond business, which was the resale market. Everybody knows that diamonds go up in value. All you have to do, and almost every diamond goes up. Even if you've been married 20 years now and you bought your wife a diamond ring, and if you took that diamond ring in to be appraised, even as a white, as a white diamond, and took that in to be appraised, the chances are excellent that that diamond over the last 20 years has doubled or tripled in value. That's just the diamond market for you. But when you get into the very rare diamonds, like these vivid yellow flawlesses and these argyle pink diamonds, those are the diamonds that will go up the most in value. But the point I'm making is that it's always been difficult to resell diamonds. And we've always known that. So for the past 2 to 3 years, we have worked on a secondary market to resell high-end collectibles like diamonds, emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and very high-end gold and silver coin sets. And that's exactly what we accomplished. Along with a company that I've worked with for many, many years out of Vancouver, Canada, Relentless Technologies, these young, brilliant, techie kids have built for me 8 Siegel Fine Auctions. The only company of its kind that exists anywhere. It's a live, real-time auction site to resell very rare diamonds. And again, I'm very, very pleased to have brought this to our Canadian clients and to our listeners and clients all over the world, and it's been tremendously successful. We've had 7 auctions, and they've all been extremely successful. One of the highlights, we sold Oprah Winfrey's pink diamond necklace. So again, we're getting very, very well known. We took off for the summer because summer is so slow, especially in Europe, where they take 6-week vacations. We will start again in October and let everybody know about our upcoming auction. So again, we're the only company that built this secondary market to resell our clients' diamonds, and it's such an exciting and successful situation that, again, we're very much looking forward to reselling our clients' diamonds down the road. Now, the next 5 to 10 years will be the strongest years for diamonds, and we anticipate that the price of colored diamonds will increase substantially. In fact, certain diamonds can increase 5 to 10 times what today's prices are. One of those diamonds are the yellow flawlesses. Now, there's many different colors of yellow. We only deal in the top colors. There's also many different clarities of yellows. We only deal in internally flawless, and those are the ones that have a track record. So if you're buying diamonds, yellow diamonds, and they're not flawless, you're not going to make any real money on them. They're very beautiful. They make gorgeous jewelry. But if you're looking to make money in the diamond market, you've got to buy the best, and that's the fancy yellows, the fancy intense yellows, the fancy vivid yellows, and they must be internally flawless. Now, we've also brought into the mix the fancy light yellow flawlesses because the ones that we're carrying are very strong colors, and they're known as canary diamonds, and they're very, very beautiful. And those diamonds start at about $15,000, and they go all the way up. We carry diamonds from $15,000 all the way up to over $50 million. So the yellow flawless diamonds, they increase in price by 25% a year, every year. They double in price every 4 years. So if you bought a diamond today for $20,000, 4 years from now, that diamond is going to be worth $40,000. Now, we want to sell that diamond for you because that's how my company makes its profits. We get 10% of the profit when you sell your diamond through us. So if you bought a diamond for $20,000 and sold it for $100,000 10 years later and made an $80,000 return, my company makes $8,000 for selling that diamond for you, and you get to keep all of the rest. So we're very, very excited about the diamond market. The other thing about the rare color diamond market, during times of high inflation, these are the diamonds that went up 500% in 1979 and 80. So when gold went to $850 and silver went to $52, our colored diamonds, especially the yellow flawlesses, went up 500% in those 2 years. We know that inflation is here. It's escalating. We've got the drought in the Midwestern part of the country. We got oil prices trading at almost $100. We are going to have massive inflation over the next 4 to 5 years, and these are the assets that will not only increase in price substantially, possibly 5 times what you paid for them, but these diamonds never ever drop in price because there's so few of them. There's approximately 100 yellow flawless diamonds cut a year for the entire world, my cutter cuts 86% of them. So we end up with about 86 out of 100 of the yellow flawless diamonds in the world, and those primarily go to our Canadian clients who have tucked them away very quietly in their safety deposit boxes for the next 5 to 10 years. So while the stock markets are extremely volatile and commodities get extremely volatile and countries are going bankrupt and currencies may go under, the fact is that there is no risk to buying a diamond. And now that we own 8 Siegel Fine Auctions, we're the only company that can resell your diamonds for you. So please take that into consideration when you invest in the rare colored diamond market. The other market that you want to invest in that is still reasonably priced are the Argyle pink diamonds. I know I promised for the last 2 weeks that we would have our new supply of Argyle pinks, but there's 80 of them that just came out of GIA. That's an entire quarter's worth of production. They've been cut and polished, and the reason that you want to invest in Argyle pink diamonds, because the one mine that produces these diamonds, at least 95% of them, is going to close in 6 years from now. Means there will be no more pink diamonds, and the prices can increase 8 to 10 times what today's prices are. So again, we're just finishing getting our diamonds out of GIA. They're all being videoed, videoed for your viewing pleasure. All the GIA reports will be present, and these diamonds basically start in the $30,000 range and go up from there. But in 10 years from now or less, when the Argyle mine does close down and there are no more pink diamonds, a $30,000 pink could be worth $200,000 to $300,000 for you. So again, that's what's happening in the rare colored diamond market. It's starting to get a tremendous amount of notoriety because, again, almost all investments out there are speculative and risky. This is one of the only investments there where there is no risk. And now that we are the only company that can resell your rare colored diamonds for you, we look to do some serious business with our clients. Again, we're heading into the most dangerous times financially that we have ever seen. They're comparing these times to the Great Depression of the late 20s, early 30s. There are countries in Europe that are going bankrupt. The euro may not be here anymore. We could see a war in the Middle East that could cause oil prices to go to over $200 a barrel. We've got so many scenarios in the marketplace right now that could be detrimental to your financial health that you need insurance against financial failure, and rare colored diamonds is the way to go. If you have money sitting in the stock market, if you put $20,000 into stocks and $20,000 into a yellow flawless diamond, in 10 years your yellow flawless diamond will be worth close to $100,000. Who knows what your stock is going to be worth? It doesn't matter what the name of the investment is. It's what's going to give you the biggest return with the least amount of risk, and that's the rare colored diamond market. So if you own rare colored diamonds, yellow flawlesses, Argyle pinks, we're bringing to you some very, very rare green diamonds amongst the rarest green diamonds in the world, blue diamonds. The rarest diamonds in the world are reds. We own several reds. In fact, we just got 2 Argyle red diamonds, just under a half a carat, and they will be on the website any day now. So you're going to get to see an actual red diamond in video, and these came from the Argyle mine. They're very special and extremely rare. So again, the financial world is in disarray. There are countries, again, that just don't know which way to turn because of these debt situations. As a small investor, we want to make the right move. We've been doing this radio show, Randy and I, for 11 years now. We've given you excellent advice. Gold at $250, it's now at $16.50. We gave you silver at $4. It recently hit $50. We started telling you or recommending that you buy oil at $18, and it's gone to as high as $150. We've given you excellent investments at a time when most people are losing their money. One of the best things you could do for your family at this particular point is put some diamonds away very, very quietly. Number one, they're portable private wealth. Nobody knows that you own them. Number two, the Europeans call them real estate in your pocket. You can carry $1 million diamond in the pocket of your jeans or on your wife's finger, and nobody would even really know the price of it. That's how rare these diamonds are. If you ever needed to start again, a diamond like this is instant cash in other currencies. So it's such an important asset to own. But on top of that, every month when your statement arrives from your RSP or from your stock portfolio and you look at it and you want to shred it, All you have to do is open up your safety deposit box or look on your wife's finger and see the most beautiful piece of art that you could ever possibly see. A hard asset is tangible. You own it. It's on you. If you ever need it, it's right there, and it doesn't trade on an exchange like stocks, so you're not going to lose your money on it. And again, we own 8 Siegel Fine Auctions, the premier auction site in the world today. It's a live, real-time auction site where I sell every single piece personally on the website. I've never, ever been more excited. We brought this to you about 7-8 years ago. The diamond market is exploding. We will see a 25% increase in the price of yellow flawless diamonds by the end of this year. They go up every year by 25%. So if you're interested in investing in rare colored diamonds, you may want to do it before the end of this year because, again, we want you to make the money, not pay the money. If these diamonds are going up by 25% at the end of the year, we want you to pick up that 25%. Again, this is one of the best assets you could possibly own. We've got magnificent museum-quality pieces, and many of our diamonds are not on the website. We own some diamonds that are so ridiculously rare that we won't even show them on the website, even though they are museum pieces. I do own a 10-carat vivid pink diamond that is worth over $50 million. So, again, we do have diamonds that are extremely rare. Most of our clients that invest under $100,000. You can get involved in yellow flawless diamonds starting at $15,000. And for the one lucky person that ends up with a featured diamond this week, which is the 1/16 heart shape, extremely rare, fancy vivid yellow internally flawless diamond on a scale from 1 to 10, the diamond's a 10, you're going to make a fortune on that diamond. That diamond sells in the $70,000 range, and it is a one of a kind. It is a diamond you'll make a fortune of money on.
Naturally fancy colored diamonds, the best kept secret. Harold wrote this article back in August of 2005. Before anybody else was even aware of this market, Harold was there first, bringing it to us. He wrote the article. You can actually see it on his website, HESradio.com. You can download it and read it, HESradio.com, but definitely go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, and take a look at that featured diamond. It is one of the most stunning diamonds you will ever see, a 1.16 carat, hard-cut, fancy, vivid yellow, internally flawless diamond, absolutely stunning. And the reason we advocate for hard assets, whether it be diamonds or gold or silver, if you look at what's happening around the world today, you know, the geopolitical aside, you have Goldman Sachs. We found out here in the last couple of weeks they will not be charged as a result of their involvement in the financial crisis back in 2007-8. MF Global, no one will be charged there as well. That story came out. We have it in the newsletter. MF
How
Global.
Ridiculous is that,
Oh,
Randy?
I know. No, it's
How
absolutely
ridiculous
stunning.
Is that? They ruined the futures market. The guy stole $1 billion. It just goes to show you where the regulators' heads are. They don't bring charges against any of these Wall Street firms or Chicago firms or anything. And it's a slap in the face to the people that invested in those markets, and it shows that the governments just don't care whether you lose your money or not. It's unconscionable. I read that article 3 times. I couldn't believe it.
MF Global. Then we have, and the thing that's amazing, the guy who ran MF Global, John Corzine, he used to be with Goldman Sachs, and then he went to, he became the governor of New Jersey. Then he was with MF Global, drove that into the ground. Now he is supposedly going to be opening up a hedge fund. So yes, line up to give him your money. So MF Global, what a disaster they were. Bernie Madoff, he's living in a country club type jail. We have Stanford Financial, Alan Stanford, he's headed to jail. And here recently, we had Peregrine Financial. That was a massive fraud that went on for 20 years. Knight Capital, they had some, if you can believe it, $400 million. They lost $400 million in 30 minutes because of a problem they had with their software. And they were doing the high-frequency trading, and their software went haywire. They lost $400 million and had to be bailed out by other companies. And then, of course, the flash crash we had in the stock market a few years ago that has never, ever been explained. And Harold, when I look at all that, the totality of all that, and you take aside, forget about inflation or geopolitical, hard assets. You've got it in your hand. You've got that diamond. You've got that gold. You've got that silver. And this is the way to protect yourself. Have that financial firewall around your assets and be very wary of Wall Street because nothing has changed.
You better believe it, Randy, and it's getting worse and worse. And the fact that the regulators don't do anything about it is just such a slap in the face to the investor. You know, it's one thing in this day and age to pick a stock that's the right stock that you can make money in. It's another thing that even if you pick it, the fact is that somebody's going to abscond with your money and you're not going to get your money back. You know, the whole basis of the futures market is based on good faith. And the fact is that when you put money into a segregated account, which is what they did, with MF Global, it's like putting your money with your lawyer in an escrow account when you're buying real estate. That money cannot be touched. And the fact is that this guy Corzine took the $1 billion or so out of these segregated accounts and gambled the money away. And the fact is that the exchanges in Chicago and in New York that are supposed to guarantee this money are not guaranteeing it. So what credibility does the stock market or those futures markets have when the exchanges don't stand up for them? It's the most unbelievable situation that I've seen. And when you read about J.P. Morgan and you read about the LIBOR scandal in England, do you realize that almost every mortgage was affected by this LIBOR scandal? And the fact is, nothing will happen to these people to get a slap on the wrist, or they made $500 billion and they may get a $100 million fine. It's a ridiculous thing. I would never put my money in the stock market at all because, again, it's one thing to try to pick a winner. It's another thing that if you are right, what are the chances that you're going to get your money, that you're not going to be scammed by a Bernie Madoff or any of these other guys, and the government doesn't stand up for you. The CFTC and the SEC are the two worst organizations as far as policing those type of scenarios. And again, it's just ridiculous, and people continue to pour money into those markets, realizing not only the risk of trading the market, but the risk of ever getting your money back again. I think it's a horrible thing that's going to affect the markets in a big way. And personally, I have zero money in the stock market, nor have I since 1999 when the markets crashed, especially in the dot-com companies. It's ridiculous.
And I didn't mention the LIBOR scandal, which is ongoing, and companies being investigated. We've mentioned J.P. Morgan there. J.P. Morgan with the London whale, big whale, lost $4 or $5, maybe even $7 billion with some bad trades. Have a hard asset. And we encourage you to watch that CNBC show, The Diamond Rush, Monday, August 27th, 2012. It'll be on in the evening. Set your DVR. Watch it. I plan on watching it. Speak with Harold about the featured diamond. One of the most stunning featured diamonds we've ever had. If you're going to look at one featured diamond, this is the one. 1.16 carat, heart cut, fancy vivid, yellow, internally flawless. Absolutely stunning. Connect with Harold. RareColoredDiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. And with the precious metal side of things, Harold recommends you use Worldwide Precious Metals. Their website, www.pmc.com. Their telephone number, 1-866-623-2002. We have about 3 minutes left before the end of the show. I did want to get to that fiscal cliff. That's another huge problem the United States faces. In fact, this is from the Congressional Budget Office. They're projecting the United States will have a $1.1 trillion federal deficit. That is the fourth straight year they will have deficits in excess of $1 trillion. But the CBO also warning about the fiscal cliff. Massive spending cuts and tax hikes due next year will cause an even worse economic damage scenario than previously thought if Washington fails to have a solution. And this fiscal cliff, expiration of tax cuts and automatic spending reductions would cause serious ramifications in the markets and obviously for the economy in the United States. We have information on that in our newsletter. It is a must read. Get our newsletter from Worldwide or from Harold. Harold, we have about a minute left, and You look at what's happening around the world today, geopolitically. We had the Fed coming out talking about more stimulus, the ECB potentially, China. Geopolitically, things very rough, and we went through the scandal thing. We don't need to do that again, but having something you can hold in your hand in this environment is a must.
Never ever been more important than it is right now. We could see the destruction of financial paper markets. I mean, derivative markets alone are in the tens of trillions of dollars, and they cannot be controlled. A lot of those losses Randy just talked about were due to derivatives. So do yourself a smart favor and get yourself some hard assets like gold, silver, diamonds, put them away, keep them near you, and the fact is that we'll get through these difficult times and we'll be the ones that prosper. 90% of the money is made by 10% of the people. The only thing that Randy and I care about is that the listeners to our radio show are in that 10%. I want to wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very, very profitable day, and thanks for bearing with me taping the show on Thursday instead of Friday. But again, have a profitable day.
Connect with Harold. RareColoredDiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Website for precious metals, WWPMC.com, or call 1-866-623-2002. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.